Good morning. Today we're going to work on 4 different builds all across the Thaldrim Vale. Welcome to MorningCraft. Let's begin. So for the first build, we've come back to our watchtower. And this plot of land is the home of the Garrison family. But aside from the watchtower, they don't really have a place to live. And so I went ahead and built one for them. It's not really a proper building, but it's the beginnings of where their home will be. And it gives just that little bit more structure to the village. I'm mainly going to be working on paths and small builds so that we can really connect the rest of the village up. But first, it's time for a story.
What has been done to the swordfish?
I came as quickly as I could from Thaldrim. The High Priest has awoken a warden and is claiming it's the new king in some grand prophecy.
Soldiers, bring me my horse. Why on earth were you in Thaldrim?
Long story, but the dog is there.
Solara, can the magic you used to build the swordfish also bring it down?
It doesn't really work that way, but I can try.
So next, I came along to this plot of land owned by the Baker family. A few weeks ago, we built a mill which can turn wheat into flour, but this next build is going to turn that flour into bread. And here we have it, our bakery. You can see we've got an oven, we've got a little bit of a house attached to that, and then a bit of a stall where the bread can be bought and sold. The house is very humble at the moment. It's not really a home, it's more of a box. But then we have this stall here, where you can buy whatever you need. And of course, we have the bellowing chimneys from the ovens. And I went ahead and I connected all of these up to the mill with a bunch of pathways. We've got one entrance for the sort of cooking area, where maybe the flour would be taken. And then we have an entrance all the way to the stalls. Story time.
Amid the chaos in the city, 2 Alufian soldiers snuck into the outskirts of Mornington to find the great forge worker, Agglestan.
Right, lads. What brings you to me forge? Plenty more excitement in the skies over there.
King Olafson IV asked for you personally, Agglestan.
You're coming with us, mate.
And so, for our third build, we're heading to this plot of land owned by the Calfies. They're meant to be raising animals here, but it's just a big open field, which isn't very useful, as they'll just wander off and eat all of the wheat upon the hill. But here we have it. We have a grand tent for all of the ranchers to sleep in while they wait for their barn to be built. I've landscaped the area specifically so that the cows can't escape, and I even got some horses for these guys. The tent is cozy and warm when it's not flooded with cows, and it's just a little bit loud. Still warm though. And they even have a place to cook a nice spot of dinner. But what they don't have is a nice path to walk to the centre of the village. Their commute would be a walk through the Shepherd family's land and through the tunnel we built. So I went ahead and I added a lovely pathway to make this route a little bit easier for them. There is quite a lot of sheep here. But here we have it, the tunnel that goes to the other side of the mountain. And once we head through, we can see a wonderfully illuminated pathway. This goes all the way up to their land, and it makes for a brilliant evening walk. And so that's number 3 finished. Time for number 4. So we built an apothecary in the last episode, but we do have this plot of land next to it. And this belongs to our fisherman. It's perfectly placed next to the mill and it runs along the river. And and it's going to make a much better home than the existing fishing hut. And so I went ahead and removed this. And I even added a comfy house on top. And so there we have it, our fourth and final build to finish off our building medley. But before we can finish the episode, let's have one last story segment.
As the powerful magic coursed through the ship, it did not disable it, but cleaved it in half at once. The High Priest was struck viciously by the beast he had brought to Mornington, and King Chapman rode to face this beast on his horse Gillidan.
Dazed and cold, I woke up in the far north. I was abandoned and marooned by the foolish Iridin, likely a mad grab for power. I woke up near the mountains of Eldros and was fed and watered there by a northerner. A long walk back to Mornington for sure.
And there we have it, the end of another episode. So, I hope you have the most amazing day and a wonderful morning. And I'll see you next time on MorningCraft.